Hey there, I'm Steve, and welcome to Jamsin Entertainment, and welcome to the conversation. Just before we get started, there are many ways you can help. You can like and subscribe so you never miss a conversation, but most importantly, please share this video. Get the word out there. There's a community we can talk about all the things that we love. Today on Throwback Thursday, we're looking at When Harry Met Sally, mostly because this movie ends on New Year's Eve, going into New Year's. It's the only movie I can think of in my library that is remotely related to New Year's. I'm normally not one for rom-coms, but this is as close to perfect as it can get. Starring Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan, Carrie Fisher, and Bruno Kirby. It starts out with Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, Harry and Sally, finishing up college, and they're going to be driving from Chicago to New York to start their new lives. They're not dating at this moment. He's actually with a friend of Sally's, but they don't explain why she's not going with him, but it's just a road trip between Harry and Sally. Just the conversations they have in the beginning and throughout the movie, they're just gold, and they're hilarious. I've done a little research on the movie. The writer, Nora Ephron, and director, Rob Reiner, based this movie off personal experiences and Nora's interviews with couples about how they met and got married and all that. And that's how this movie comes off as so real. And I think that's why I like this rom-com so much, because this could happen. It probably has happened in some form or another. In the movie, there are older couples that are interviewed, and that's how I got into researching this movie. It's like, are these real couples or they're actors? They're actors based off interviews that Nora did for the movie. But even that, they took pieces of the interviews that she did and rewrote them for the actors. I think it would have been way better. That's why I say it's almost perfect. Way better if they actually had the people she interviewed doing these small interludes. But as it stands, it's really, really good. And it's a nice touch to the movie. It's not entirely necessary, but it's a nice cherry on top. So as I mentioned in the beginning, they're on a road trip and they have these great conversations, but Sally is not a fan of Harry because Harry's a bit of a pig. He is. And it's in this movie they have the famous conversation of men and women can't be friends. The movie kind of answers that question. It still leaves it up to you. Through my life, I've come to believe that men and women can be friends without anything else going on. It can be completely platonic. But the characters of Harry and Sally are so interesting, so intriguing. You love watching them. You love seeing them go through their highs and lows because they start out as just people trying to get from point A to point B. And then they bump into each other a few times before they become friends. And they become friends because they both go through a breakup. Sally breaks up with her boyfriend and Harry gets a divorce. Both ways of how they handle those situations is explored and how they help each other with those situations and how one thing leads to another. And I mean, I'm gonna say I leave it there, but you can figure out. I mean, it's a rom-com and I'm not aware of any rom-coms where the two leads don't get together. So is it really a spoiler? Now, the supporting cast, Carrie Fisher and Bruno Kirby, are also perfect in this, or as close to perfect as it can get. This is the only other film I know Carrie Fisher to be in, the other film being Fanboys, which one of these days I'll get to. That's a good movie. And Bruno Kirby, I don't know him in much other than like Good Morning Vietnam, and I think one other film, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But everyone in here is bringing their A game, and it's just, they make it completely believable that this is kind of like based on a true story. Another great thing about this movie, and something I don't think I've talked about on this channel, if I have, it's been a while, but even the extras are very interesting in this movie. Just watching them interact with what Harry and Sally are doing, or even Jess and Marie. Jess is Bruno Kirby, and Marie is Carrie Fisher. Even that adds to the believability of this movie. I can't recommend this movie enough, and especially get it on Blu-ray. Those are my thoughts on When Harry Met Sally. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, Happy New Year, and live your imagination.